From managing entertainers to saving over 300 prisoners from death row, the disheveled Barry Scheck is still making strides in the legal realm even after O.J. Simpson. Barry Scheck was born to an impoverished Jewish family in Queens, New York. In his youth, he worked his way up to a career as a manager for entertainers. With a start in entertainment, he later switched gears into a different passion of his: social justice and civil rights activism. At the time, he was also engrossed in social justice issues and became involved in the anti-war and civil rights movements of the 60s and 70s. In his teens, he attended Yale University to study economic history and city planning, thereafter pursuing law at Berkeley in California. As a legal scholar, he taught at the School of Law at Yeshiva University. In 1985, his career took shape when he defended a man named Marion Coakley, who was convicted of rape and robbery. Through fingerprint and blood evidence, Scheck proved that Coakley was not guilty of the crimes he was accused of. Research on the case led Scheck to a preoccupation with DNA and forensics, and in 1992, he co-founded the Innocence Project. The project is a non-profit that advocates for DNA evidence to exonerate the accused and convicted.
Quite a number of our cases were people that were death eligible, or they would have been death penalty cases, but they were in non-death penalty states.
At its start, the non-profit resulted in the exoneration of dozens of wrongly convicted individuals. Since then, the project has freed over 300 prisoners, according to NSB Civil Rights. Barry Scheck's reputation in the legal world led to his inclusion on O.J. Simpson's defense team, where he worked alongside Robert Shapiro and F. Lee Bailey. The infamous case revolved around the murders of Simpson's ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ronald Goldman. The two were found stabbed to death outside their Los Angeles home on June 12, 1994. The moment Simpson pleaded not guilty, a media extravaganza ensued, with Scheck as a volatile force in the midst of it all. The New York native stood out among Simpson's dream team for his more disheveled appearance, strong accent, and aggressive questioning style. White Americans largely believed in O.J. Simpson's guilt, while African Americans saw his acquittal as a victory over a racially biased legal system. Scheck's expertise in the forensic application of DNA research was brought to the public eye when he cross-examined LAPD criminologist Dennis Fung. He helped the defense's case provide evidence that a vial of blood was tampered with in order to frame Simpson by pointing to a window of time where the vial was unaccounted for at the crime scene. Today, Scheck teaches law and is still active with the Innocence Project. In March 2021, he spoke before the United States House Judiciary Subcommittee on Crime, Terrorism, and Homeland Security. In his testimony, he encouraged Congress to adopt pretrial methods for reducing wrongful convictions. Scheck was also honored in a speech by San Antonio Spurs head coach Greg Popovich in July 2022 at Rock Nation, pertaining to Scheck's work with the Innocence Project. At the summit, Scheck was given an award for his work in social justice. Barry Scheck serves on the board at the Benjamin N. Cardozo School of Law. He divides his time between that school and being a commissioner on New York's Forensic Science Review Board, a regulatory firm that develops standards for forensic laboratories located in New York State. According to his law firm's website, NSB, Scheck was also president of the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers between 2004 and 2005. This is an organization that includes private criminal defense lawyers, public defenders, law professors, and judges that advocate for improving the criminal legal system. Scheck has also dabbled in television a few times to further his cause. In 2010 and 2013, he also played himself on 2 episodes of The Good Wife. In 2020, he appeared in several episodes of The Innocence Files, where he has also worked behind the camera as an executive consultant. The show was a miniseries documentary that highlighted cases of wrongful conviction handled by the Innocence Project and other similar organizations.